Happy autumn, Sagittarius. So in this time for your reading, we have pulled from Joseph Campbell's Transformations of Myth Through Time, from which Abraham is supposed to have departed, also received the law from the sun god. And when the law comes with that kind of a backing, it can't be fooled around with. The law was, of course, invented by Hammurabi, but attributed to God. And we can say the same for Moses. So what a start. What a wonderful, interesting start, and I'm intrigued by what that means. So we have the Knight of Wands, the fiery spirit of adventure, which is, I think, perfect, right? So, okay, let's just dive in. So the Knight of Wands symbolizes the active and dynamic essence of the element of fire, a force that represents creative imagination and bold pursuits. The archetype finds embodiment in the mythical figure of King Theseus, a character steeped in adventure and exploration. So you may also have a message in Virgo's video. Briefly gracing the numbered cards of the suit of wands is one of Jason's esteemed companions on the quest for the Golden Fleece. So Theseus epitomizes the excitement, the impulsiveness, and infectious spirit associated with fiery energy. The Knight of Wands resonates profoundly with the qualities of the Sagittarius zodiac sign, known for their intolerance of limitations and impulsive nature. So sometimes Sagittarius, like Theseus, often you're wanting to embody this unwavering belief in your own correctedness, right? Propelling yourself toward adventure and conquest. The archetype that you may be in right now is glorifying adventurous pursuits, right? And this often undervalues the more subdued expressions of love, such as emotional and maternal bonds. So the pursuit of a grand destiny means that individuals inspired by this energy resist the mundane and seek to break free from the chains of normalcy. You may like the sentiments expressed in Nico's song, Daughter of Creation. The Knight of Wands embodies a spirit that refuses to be a mere mortal. Such individuals are pragmatic and fascinating. They're magnetizing, yet can be perceived as pushy and driven by power. So this enthusiasm, Sagittarius, it encourages you to initiate ideas and collaborate with others. This is going to create vibrant networks through your shared visions. There's also this juggling act of ambition, okay? So this is coupled with the Knight of Wands. We have the Two of Pentacles, and this signals the beginning of a new climb, an early stage that's developing within you where you're developing these skills, right? And you're honing your own reputation among your peers. And you're full of ingenuity, right? And I know that you're passionately engaging in new inventions all the time and adeptly managing multiple projects, right? With this energy, it can often lead to a state of fluctuation in material fortunes, where, change is not synonymous with loss, but rather reflects an outward flow of creative energy. As long as you're keeping in balance how that means for you, then yes, you will always have this outward flow of creative energy. But when that stops, there could be distortion, right? And confusion. Things can get a little out of balance. So just being aware of that. Also, there is an underscore of the idea that money makes money. So this is highlighting that important reason for investing, right? Investing your time and your effort and your resources wisely. Okay, those are all under the influence of Taurus in the second house. I see that you should look into that. Where is it in your chart and in this time, and what is transiting through right now in this autumnal equinox stage. Yes, because its influence must remain flexible, embracing the necessity of juggling various commitments and managing your resources, Sagittarius. Such a balancing act may seem daunting, but it's ultimately considered a good thing for you in this time. So there is a promise of rewards, right? Lots and plentiful, but it speaks to the fruitful outcome if you allow creative energy to flow freely in diverse directions, which I don't see you having real issues with, except that it may just be too much where things kind of get out of balance. So honing it in a little bit. Multitasking is your forte to an extent, but overdoing it will bring you unbalancedness, right? There's also in this time a huge need for the depth of your emotional intuition, okay? And here we pulled the Queen of Cups, and this invites you to delve into the private and limitless world of your emotion. I invite you to review the symbolism of the mythic figure of Helen, right? Her beauty ignited the flames of the Trojan War. And the Queen of Cups card embodies the enchanting allure of feminine power. Helen's essence transcends mere physical beauty. It captures an allure so profound that it defies rational explanation. So there is a part of you in this time that is, some people just can't handle all of the wonderfulness that you are. So aligning the energy with the Queen of Cups often is seen as a liquid force, right? Reflecting the depths of every soul that you encounter. And in love, you're an all-encompassing, willing to give your entire self to those that you cherish. The paradox, however, of your existence lies in the logic of the heart, which defies analysis and often contradicts societal morals, right? There's an enigmatic nature that stirs unrest within you, activating these buried emotions and inciting crisis and conflict simply through the presence of them. So that is something to be aware of. Perhaps you're doing all these great, wonderful things, and these emotional depths come up in a way, and because you're already so busy, you either don't have time to be with them, or you don't want to be, therefore you add on more things to do, and then it becomes chaos, but not in a good way, right? You become unbalanced, and then there is a cog in that creative energy, and it can no longer flow freely. So we're speaking of the unconscious mind's pursuit of its secret purpose, right? Helen and the Queen of Cups invites individuals into the whirlwind of passion and fate, right? We're employing a captivating power that is mysterious, right? It often leads to transformative experiences if we can allow ourselves to be open enough and curious enough to want to understand it. There is beauty in vulnerability and the importance of navigating our inner world with grace. So the Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups together compose a rich tapestry of energies that celebrate human experience. It underscores the importance of balancing your ambition and your creativity, along with that emotional intuition in a life that is filled with adventure and profound connection. So embracing these energies allows yourself, Sagittarius, to navigate your journeys with purpose, with courage, and an understanding of the intricate weave of your human emotion. Okay? And just know, Sagittarius, that you do have support. Okay? There is the village, but this also encompasses a duality of comfort and growth. Right? So the concept of the village, it evokes a profound sense of belonging. It conjures up images of a safe haven where nostalgia thrives and memories are carefully woven into the fabric of our identities. This is the place that we often regard as home, a sanctuary to which we can always return. Within its borders lies the whispers of laughter, the warmth of community, and the comfort of familiarity. It is where our roots are planted, and these roots ground us in our history and identity. So it would take a moment to find a creative outlet for you to express what the village represents and symbolizes for you. I do feel that having this as a free form will be really helpful, because then when you can come back to it on a later time, you will receive more information than when you originally first started it, such as most things are. Okay, so the village also represents a complex conundrum. Okay, so while it provides that essential refuge, it can also simultaneously represent a cage, a limitation on our personal growth. In every village, there exists an unspoken boundary that most villagers are reluctant to see crossed. This boundary often symbolizes the expectations and norms of communities, of families, and ideologies that we are born into or adopt over time. So venturing beyond those borders, it can invoke trepidation, right? Leaving behind not only just the physicality of the village, but the very essence of who we believe we are within that space. And before your reading, Saturn did come in. So if you are where you grew up, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to pack the bags and move away, but taking an extended leave, going and visiting different cultures and different places, you can take small steps, just a state or a county or a province away, but trying to slowly start expanding that field, which I don't think should be an issue, because you really have that energy coming in this time of wanting adventure. Yes. And some villagers, they may find joy in you departing and leaving. And recognizing the potential for your growth and self-discovery that lies beyond is most important. And sometimes, yes, there are people, places, and things that we need to separate from. And it's just going to happen, whether we are fully conscious of it or not. That separation just has to occur for our potential growth. right? And that energy is unmistakable, right? It often reflects our own struggles against the constraints that are imposed by certain groups or communities. So the village, while comforting, it can become a realm of restriction, an echo of our fears, and a barrier to experiencing the fullness of life. But Sagittarius, in recognizing the duality of the village, you can give thanks for the wisdom that it offers, right? It serves as a critical foundation, nurturing your sacred essence, your very blood and DNA, which protects you, just like your plant ally, cat's claw. So this plant is regarded as one of the mightiest protectors, reminding us that our roots are fiercely safeguarded. Yet, like the shadows cast by sacred roots, there lies a necessity for solitude and exploration. Roots also of plants, and specifically trees, is correspondent to Saturn. You also had the poppy plant as one of your plant allies, and this is associated with the cosmic energies of Neptune and Saturn, right? It's teaching us about balance. It warns against the excessive use of mystical tools, which can trap us in a dark labyrinth of confusion and self-doubt. So in this context, it symbolizes the importance of clarity and groundedness, urging us to navigate the boundary of our village with intention rather than fear. So ultimately, the village is not merely a physical space, it becomes more of a mindset. So as you grow and evolve and explore the world beyond its borders, you carry the essence of the village within you, right? That comfort of familiar faces and the lessons learned become part of your toolkit for navigating new terrain. Embracing this mindset allows you to honor your roots while pursuing the vastness, Sagittarius, that life has to offer. So as you stand at the precipice of your own growth, let us acknowledge the village gifts while preparing yourself to embrace the unknown. The world awaits a tapestry of experiences, of challenges and triumphs that will enrich your journey. You may return to the village one day, but for now, the call for the open road is stronger than the pull of the familiar. Sagittarius, your reading was a little bit shorter than the others. So I want to read another excerpt from Joseph Campbell's Transformations of Myth Through Time, because that was the book that came out for you in this reading. So let's see if there's another message that comes through. So we have hymns for this period. The bull god, the moon god, Demutz, who has gone into the underworld and sings for his goddess to come and bring them both to eternal life. The great heroic deed of the goddess is the descent, stage by stage, to the underworld to bring eternal life to both. This is the idea of Suti. The husband and wife are one. When he dies or is sacrificed, she must follow. And the two together are then brought to eternity through her heroic act. Now we come to about 1750 BC, and this is Hammurabi of Babylon. It's from his period that the great epic of Gilgamesh comes. Hammurabi receives the law from god Shamash, the sun god. You see the sun rays from his shoulders. As Moses received the law from Yahweh, so Hammurabi from Shamash. Ornamu, the Lord, the great city of Ur, from which Abraham is supposed to have departed, also received the law from the sun god. And when the law comes with that kind of a backing, it cannot be fooled around with. The law was, of course, invented by Hammurabi, but contributed to God, and we can say the same for Moses.